Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have a bit of a different video. It's not a speed build. From a really great supportive friend of mine, got lent a microphone and a webcam, as well as some other bits and bobs, which means I now have a full streaming and recording setup, which is amazingly exciting. And for the last 2 days I've been streaming over on Twitch. I was setting up all of my software and everything that I needed to stream on the first day, and then on the second day I streamed some Fall Guys. It's really exciting. I had some lovely people in chat and it's been really fun. So if you have a Twitch account and would like to get notified of when I go live or support me in any way, I'm currently working up to 50 followers so that I can get affiliate. I think I'm on 20 now, so I'm 30 away, so if you want to go click the link down below in the description to my Twitch and give me a follow, that would be lovely. But this new setup means that I can do different sort of videos. So before, when I did a speed build, I would do everything and film it on the laptop, and then I'd have to use my phone to record my voiceover and then sort of marry the two up. But now that I a microphone that goes directly into my laptop, I can do both at the same time. So I thought that I would introduce my legacy world. I made this world in about May time, during the last few weeks of my degree, and I just did what I wanted to do. So I found some recreated celebrities on the gallery, I found these massive mansions, we've got a couple of builds from Deligracy, the Blue Moon, which is the most downloaded house ever on the gallery. We've got some modern mansions, a beach hut, one I made myself, which was probably one of my first ever builds on Sims 4. I went back through my save files a while ago and I didn't really have many others. There was at least one. I just found these big houses. I wanted to play in this mansion. I made the two that are my sort of main family. These two I made on the gallery myself, and then I just gave everyone a ton of money and I just played through without any worries. So it's completely the opposite to a legacy challenge where you would get 1,800 simoleons and a blank lot and you'd have to build up from there. But we are now on generation 4, so I wanted to maybe do a runaway teen challenge to Sulani for when I get the Island Living pack, and I want to bring that to my channel. So I thought I would go back to how it looked when I started, explain a bit about all the different families and how we've got to generation 4, because the family trees look amazing. They're so intertwined now and detailed, and everyone's sort of cousins of cousins and things. And I thought then you'd have a bit of context if I did do some Let's Plays or some challenges with my Sims that are in the 4th generation. So let's jump into it. I didn't know how to structure this video because it's so complicated. I spent about 2 days working out how to get it and importing the world as I had it first time, because this was on my previous laptop. So I went in, I downloaded all the houses again, I found the families, put them all into where they were living, so it looked pretty much the same. I did have a family in here, but I never did anything more with them because their children came out looking really strange. So I let them perish. But everything else is pretty much the same. These are the people that I made. So I made Zach Windsor and Amara Schwartz, and they had no relation when they moved in together. But then they got married, they had these 2 dogs, Mateo and Clover. They adopted a few more along the way. And then we had these bachelor boy household. So we've got Ethan, Ben, Hank and David. And David goes on to marry Taylor Swift, who has all of her cats. And then we've got the Di Santiago family with Carmela and Andre. And then I was looking for Gordon Ramsay's family on the gallery, but no one had made like a good one with all of his children and his wife. So I found this Ramsay family, which is Maria and Matt Ramsay, and then they have Dean, Alex, Callie, and they end up having another child called Sheena. And Giancarlo they also have. And then we've got the girls, which is Tanya, Serena, Francesca and Anita, as well as Demi. So this is how it started. We've got Deligracy's mansion, and the speed build of this is on her YouTube channel, and there are, I think, 3 parts because it is a humongous build. We've got a cats and dogs mansion, and then I wanted to show you this one because it's a retirement home, and I thought I'd make my own, so I decided to go in the gallery and have a look. Then I saw this one, and it was honestly one of the funnest, coolest builds I've seen in forever. So it's so detailed. You've got a little house for each of your 8 Sims, and it's a retirement village. So when my Sims have their children and they've aged up and the children are adults, they come and live here. It looks all pretty normal. You've got beds and bathrooms in each of these, and they're all different colour schemes. And then you go downstairs. And look how cool this is. You've got this absolutely massive kitchen, diner, like cafe area, an entrance, and that's supposed to be sort of a sign-in reception. You go around here and you've got a seating area, a chill out area, a place to build skills and go on the computers. This wellness spa. I had to change some of this because I didn't have all the packs, but these are yoga mats. And then place to paint, place to garden, this underground garden section, toilets, laundry, and this absolutely awesome bar. So they've got a whole bar here. So I loved this build, so I've used this for all my generations to live in. And while I was setting all of this up, I did different save files for each stage. So if we jump into the next stage, so in this world we've got the children of the people that I paired together. So we've got Zach and Amara, who had Michael. This is my main family, so Michael was the one that I took forward. I think he maxed out like 6 skills. He had loads of different traits, and I think he completed like 3 aspirations. He had all of the toddler traits, so he was like a really beefy Sim. And then we've got the Laws family, which was Serena, who married Ethan, and they had Camilla and Dante. The Di Santiago family, Andres and Camilla, had Levi. Taylor Swift married David, and they had Eduardo and Archie. But David before that had a relationship with Francesca, and that produced Cameron. The Ramsey family, this is just a look at all their children grown up. So you've got Giancarlo and Sheena, who weren't in the original family. Anita and Ben married, and they had Michelle and Clifton. Lastly, Tanya and Hank, who had Gideon first, and then Hadley and Kaylee were twins. And I'm not even sure what happened. Demi, I downloaded off the gallery with someone else, and then I had them be roommates in the outhouse of Deligracy's build, and somehow with that they stopped being together, and so Demi had Christy, but with I think it was a San Myshuno townie, so I don't know what went on there, but we got Christy. So this was that generation. So growing up with Michael, he was best friends with pretty much all of the children. They had parties together and would go on outings and things. And then when Michael aged up to a young adult, I put Dante, Archie, Clifton and Gideon all in a house that I built in Brightchester, and I put them all through university. So all in different degrees. Putting them through all university to get A's was a hell of a job. It was really fun, but I don't think, because I was so focused on them doing well at school, they didn't have such a social life. But they did have keg parties, and they got to know their next wives. And then we've got Generation 3. So in Generation 3, I'd moved around some of the houses because I'd created this house. So I swapped the Taylor Swift house with my house, put mine there, and then the Blue Moon went over here. These are all the children from the next sort of pairing stage. Hadley didn't have anybody, so she died a spinster. So Michael moved here, and him and Cameron got together and they had a child called Luke in this house. Callie Ramsey married Archero and has had Raquel and Tyson, keeping on that redhead phase. Camilla and Clifton married and had Lamont and Bertie. Then you've got Eduardo and Kaylee, who had Gael. I made this new family. I wanted to recreate the brother and sister in one of the soap operas that I watched, so Hollyoaks, and they got introduced as a couple, and then it turned out that they were like long lost triplets of a main character. So I made them a couple, and they had Alexandra and Elena. So they're sort of the first ones that I added into the game, because I felt like I wanted to make that, and then I wanted some diversity back as well. So we've also got Gideon married Sheena, and they had Darnell and Caitlin. And so I've tried to pair the traits together, because he was non-committal, mean and gloomy, so a very difficult sim. But then I've paired him with someone that's also mean, gloomy, but a genius. And that's sort of how I choose who I want people to go with. So I do it on personality and then whether they're not cousins, because that can get quite hard in this legacy, which is why I add in families. And then Levi and Christy were together and they had Candice and Bobby. And finally we've got Michelle and Dante had 4 boys: Efrain, Leighton, Josh and Rez. And I think this house is cursed with boys, because the next generation down, this house I think has 5 boys in it now. So literally you just have boys when you're in this house. But that is the world too, so you're probably getting very, very confused right now. So I will jump into the final world, which is the one I'm playing at the moment, and we'll have a little look at all of the family trees. So this is what I'm playing at the moment, which is the Kalamalka house that I built, is where my main family is. We've still got the sort of Hollyoaks household in this massive mansion. I'm trying to upgrade this house to the next one that I built because they're growing out of it. So I've moved another build of Kalamalka here and put the graveyard here. And that was so difficult. It meant I lost all my tombstones. They didn't have ghosts attached to it. So I had to download MC Command Center and then manually revive ghosts and kill them off again so that they had working gravestones. But now it's got an absolutely huge graveyard with pretty much all of the Sims that you've just seen that have passed on. Starting here, we've got Bertie married Alexandra, and they've had Camillo, Blake and Lex. So it's all trying to be in line with the age groups of my main family, which is Luke, who married Elena. They first had Ty, and then Theo, Thomas, and now we've got Leah, who's my first girl in the sort of in my main legacy family. But I found that in all of the generations there's been more boys that are born than girls. So I'm not sure if they're trying to, like, if that's a glitch or if there's a priority to boys being born. I don't know. So these two households, because Alexandra and Elena are siblings, these two households are all cousins. Ty, who was the firstborn, and I went and had like everyone get married and have babies when he was young, and then now that we've had Leah, who I'm going to carry on to the next generation, I've gone round again so everyone's sort of the same age group as her. Candice and Darnell, who have had Toby and now Hadley. Oh, we have another Hadley. That's the first, and I think that's a male. So that's the first time they've reused a name. Funny that it's on a different gender. Here we've got Lamont and Leighton, and they are cousins. They're living together. They don't have any kids. And we have Tyson, who is married to Efrain, and they did have a dog, but the dog seems to have died. And we've got Drew, who married Caitlin, and they've had Monique, Sophia, and there's a bit of scandal with that one. This is what I'm talking about. This house has boys. So we've got Rez, who married Raquel. So he's evil, but a romantic and a glutton. And she is a music lover, unflirty and outgoing. But she's also like a criminal, because I thought with the hair and the colour and everything, I thought I'd make her look a bit evil. But he managed to charm her into marrying him. And they've had Jim, Bradford, Jesse, Christopher and Kaysen. So 5 boys, which is really annoying for pairing people. And then Bobby married Josh, and they've had Georgia, who needs a makeover, Reed, Ariel and Maya. And I think that's now everybody. So Drew was another one that I put in this generation. That's where I've got up to. I will jump into the family trees because Elena is a jealous sim, and with Luke growing up in Brindleton Bay, he's known people through school and high school that he's best friends with. So he is best friends with Caitlin, and he married Elena and he loves Elena and he loves his family, but her jealousy sometimes, those jealous pangs, sometimes push him away. So he, after a lifelong friendship, got a bit heated with Caitlin and they had Donna. And this was right before Luke turned to an elder. So Donna's family tree is awesome. Look how big this is. She has her half-sisters of Monique, Sophia, and then all of in my main household. And then you can just see sort of how everything has spanned. So you've got Gideon, Sheena, Hank, Tanya, like all the way back to the top. You've got the Ramsey family. And I love this because you can literally go to anyone and you can find out who they married, who they had. You can pretty much get from every sim that's in this legacy world. So like you've got Kayla, you've got the 5 boys, my family. So David had Eduardo and Archero, and then also had Cameron through a different mother. This is like my favourite thing that you can get to pretty much every family. But this is the main family tree. So it's all confusing. There have been a few scandals. I'll probably put a few more scandals in, but the admin of it all can take quite a while when you've got 9 different households to manage. I wish the family tree was a bit more in detail, but it's just so cool to see. I hope this video hasn't been too confusing. This is just a quick look at their house. Elena's a gardener, so she's got a full garden out here, big backyard. They're growing out of this now because you've got Ty, who's staying in this granny flat, which is like a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom enclosed flat. The kids' room upstairs. If I wanted to, I could just redecorate and have this as another kids' room, but I think I want to move them to my modern mansion, which I built a couple of videos back on for a speed build, because I really liked that and I think it will fit them perfectly because it's quite family friendly. That's where we're going. I think Leah, well, I've never done many challenges to start off with, but I think I want to do like the runaway teen challenge with her. Oh, she's in the bath. And have her run away to Sulani, because there's a sale on Origin at the moment for packs, so I think I might get either a bundle or just buy Island Living, and that's where I think I'll take it. So thank you for watching. Do let me know if you play the game completely differently to me, if you like the way I've done it by giving them like thousands of simoleons and just playing sort of free play, or if it's too much for you, too complicated. I'm finding it really difficult to stay focused with a house that's got so many people in. We've got a really cute cat as well. And yeah, let me know what you think and whether this video was completely confusing or not. I'm sure it was, but I thought I'd give some context to my family. I don't want to scrap this legacy anytime soon, so I thought I might as well bring it to the channel so that I can then use it and people have a little bit of knowledge about how detailed it is and how everyone's married to everyone within the world. And I've had a lot of fun with this over lockdown and COVID, and it's kept me very entertained and always wanting to progress it through loads of different generations to see where I end up. So thank you for watching this video. If you haven't already, please do subscribe and click that notification button and leave a like, comment down below, tell me how you play it, tell me if you want to see more from the legacy and different challenges and watch Leah grow up, and I will see you all next time.